While we have just a few minutes of daylight left, and before I freeze my ass off, I thought I'd show you where it all began, my love of worms. So this is my backyard. Some big rocks. There's a little Buddha garden that'll get cleaned out in the spring. And you can see where I put the Christmas tree branches to protect the cypress. This is a Hinoki cypress tree. Its name is Hinokio. Hello. Well, I'm continuing this inside because it's way too freezing out there for me. And much like my worms, when it gets that cold, I just want to burrow down and get cozy. So that's what I'm doing. But I do have a worm with me to help me tell the story. So when we first had this house and cleaning up the yard for the first time with some friends, my then only child, who was not quite 4, was happily digging in the dirt while we were cleaning up the yard and found a worm and fell in love with it, of course. But when it was time to go in for the night, they didn't want to relinquish the worm. And it was after much coaxing, I finally managed to convince my child that the worm would be happier in the soil where it belonged. Adding to that, this was an earthworm, not a composting worm like this, and we didn't have a bin then. But all that night, my child was crying, "My worm, my poor worm." It was heartbreaking. And it wasn't until 7 years later, when my second child was just starting preschool, that my own part in the worm journey continued. But I'll save that for another time.